Most. Whites faithful, gather round because your club is in absolute turmoil right now. And I'm about to drop 3 bombshells that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about this transfer window. Listen up, United family. While you've been enjoying your summer break, the boardroom at Elland Road has been a battlefield. We got a midfielder who's playing hard to get, a legendary manager trying to steal our targets again, and a young striker who might be packing his bags for Spain faster than you can say marching on together. I'm telling you right now, smash that like button, because what I'm about to reveal will have you on the edge of your seat. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell because the Whites are about to face their biggest transfer test yet. You think you know what's happening with a club. Think again. We've got a $12 million rejection that's connected to Frank Lampard of all people. Jose Mourinho playing his dirty tricks again on a 24 million roadblock that could change everything for a promising young talent. Are you ready for this roller coaster? Because once I drop these truth bombs, there's no going back. The first revelation involves a midfielder whose price tag just went through the roof for the most ridiculous reason you'll ever hear. Here we go, Whites. The name that's been driving us all mental. Sean Longstaff. Remember when we thought $12 million would seal the deal? Well, Newcastle just laughed in our faces and sent that bid straight to the bin. But here's the kicker that'll make your blood boil. The reason they want more money has absolutely nothing to do with Longstaff's ability. You ready for this madness? Newcastle are holding us to ransom because they need $30 million for their own target, Jack Rudoni from Coventry. And why does Rudoni cost $30 million? Because Frank Lampard turned him into a superstar last season. I'm not making this up, United family. The domino effect is absolutely mental. Joe Bellingham goes to Dortmund for 27 Vanners. $8 million. So now every championship player thinks they're worth $30 million. Coventry are using that as their benchmark. And now we're the ones getting squeezed because Newcastle need to fund their own shopping spree. Adam Underwood is standing firm though. He's not paying over the odds for anyone. The same stubborn approach that got us Jakabijo for $15 million when everyone thought he'd cost more. But here's the thing that's eating at me. Longstaff is exactly what we need. He's over 6 feet tall, Premier League proven, and in the final year of his contract. The Whites have already made 3 bids for this lad. 3! And each time Newcastle moved the goalposts because they're desperate to fund their own transfer business. It's like a never-ending nightmare where we're being held hostage by Frank Lampard's coaching brilliance. And get this, Rudoni had a hand in 23 Coventry goals last season. 23? Under Lampard's guidance, he's been making those signature box-to-box runs that made Frank famous during his Chelsea days. The irony is killing me. We're being priced out because Lampard has created another midfield monster, and now Doug King at Coventry is holding everyone to ransom. The timing couldn't be worse either. Just when we need midfield reinforcements desperately, we are caught in this ridiculous web of inflated prices and stubborn negotiations. Longstaff even rubbed salt in our wounds during the pre-season friendly. Our lads probably laughing at us while we scramble for alternatives. But wait, there's more chaos coming your way, and it involves a familiar face who just can't stop meddling in our business. Just when you thought the transfer window couldn't get any more frustrating, guess who's back to haunt the Whites? That's right, Jose Mourinho. This man is becoming our biggest nemesis. First, he supposedly rejected our approach when we were looking for a new manager. Richard Keys claims we only kept Daniel Farke because Mourinho said no to Parag Maratha's offer. Can you believe that? The special one turning down Leeds United. But that's not where it ends, United family. Now he's at Fenerbahce systematically stealing every single player we're interested in. We wanted Gabriel Gudmundsson. They got him. They wanted Archie Brown. We got him. It's like a twisted game of transfer chess. And now, Mourinho has just slapped down an $8, $5 million bid for Yves Bissouma, the exact same Tottenham midfielder we've been tracking. This man is relentless. Here's what's driving me absolutely mental. Bissouma is perfect for what Adam Underwood wants. He's 6 feet tall, Premier League proven with 191 appearances, and in the final year of his contract. Sound familiar? He's literally the Longstaff alternative we've been praying for. The Whites have signed 4 players this summer, all 26 years old, all tall for their positions, and 3 of them were in their final contract year. Bissouma ticks every single box in Underwood's transfer strategy. But here comes Mourinho with his Turkish millions and his come work with a special one pitch. How do we compete with that? The man who's won everything there is to win in football versus us in the championship. This is the same pattern we've seen all summer. Fenerbahce and Leeds chasing the same players, and somehow we keep getting tangled up in each other's business. They want Elland. Meslier, we're linked with their keeper Dominik Livakovic for $6 million. The most infuriating part? Mourinho's also throwing around player plus cash deals like confetti. They've offered Torino 4 bailers, $3 million plus defender Rodrigo Becao for Vanja Milinkovic-Savic. Meanwhile, we're here penny pinching over every single transfer. And don't even get me started on that 3-year contract offer they're dangling in front of Bissouma. The Mali captain, 28 years old, with all that Premier League experience, he's exactly what we need to complement Ao Tanaka and Ilya Gruev, who've never played a single minute in England's top flight. Ethan Ampadu has just 26 Premier League appearances as our captain. We desperately need that experienced head in midfield, and Mourinho swoops in like a vulture circling over our transfer targets. The frustration is real, Whites faithful, but hold on to your scarves because the final bombshell involves one of our own talented youngsters who might be saying goodbye. And here comes the heartbreaker, United family. Mateo Joseph might be packing his bags for Spain, and there's a $24 million roadblock that's about to blow this whole situation wide open. This 21-year-old Spanish striker has been on Real Betis' radar for months. They've already had a $10 million bid rejected in the winter, then came back with $6.9 million, and now Leeds want $5 million. The negotiations are more confusing than our midfield pursuit. But here's the cruel twist. Joseph wants to go back to Spain. The lad's been brilliant for Spain U21s, shining in the Euro U21 tournament, but Daniel Farke couldn't give him the game time he deserved. Just 11 league starts last season for a talent like this? It's criminal! Farke even admitted Joseph failed to take his chances when given the opportunity, and now the youngster is looking at the bigger picture. We're about to sign another striker, which means Joseph drops to fourth choice. Can you imagine being 21 years old and watching your career stagnate because you can't get on the pitch? But here's where it gets absolutely mental. Real Betis are ready to make their final push for Joseph, but they're blocked by their own striker, Borja Iglesias. This man signed for $24 million in 2019, and his massive salary is preventing them from bringing in our Spanish gem. The Whites have no choice but to sell Joseph this summer. It's harsh, but it's reality. His sale could help our PSR situation with an extra $42.5 million becoming available. And let's be honest, if we're signing another striker, where does that leave the lad? Real Betis are keeping talks alive with Leeds, desperately trying to shift Iglesias so they can accommodate Joseph's wages. It's a $24 million roadblock that could determine whether our promising youngster gets his dream move back to Spain. The timing is absolutely heartbreaking. Joseph proved himself on the international stage, starring alongside other promising youngsters in the U21 Euros. The lad has the talent, the hunger, and the international recognition, but we simply can't guarantee him the minutes he needs to develop. What makes this even more frustrating is that we're potentially letting go of a striker who could be worth much more in the future. Remember, this is a player who's already caught the attention of La Liga clubs and performed for his country. Are we making a massive mistake by not fighting harder to keep him? The 49ers have transfer budget flexibility. We can reportedly spend over $150 million without PSR issues. But instead of using that to build a squad deep enough to accommodate Joseph's development, we're forcing him out to make room for another signing. It feels like we're prioritizing short-term gains over long-term potential. And don't forget, Joseph's contract situation means this is probably our last chance to get proper money for him. If we don't sell now, we risk losing him for nothing later, or worse, watching him flourish elsewhere while we're stuck wondering, what if? Final thoughts. So there you have it, White's faithful. 3 transfer sagas that perfectly sum up our chaotic summer. We can't get Longstaff because Newcastle need money for their own targets. Mourinho is stealing our midfield alternatives, and we're about to lose a talented youngster because we can't guarantee him game time. Hit that subscribe button if you want to stay updated on all the Leeds United transfer madness. Drop a comment below and tell me, are you frustrated with how this window is going? Should we pay whatever Newcastle wants for Longstaff? Will we regret selling Joseph? The United family deserves so much better than this transfer chaos. We're Leeds United. We should be the ones making other clubs nervous, not the other way around. One question for you all. If you were Adam Underwood, would you break the bank for Longstaff or move on to other targets? Because right now it feels like we're stuck in transfer limbo while our rivals are making moves. Marching on together even when the transfer window is driving us all mental. Mott.